Welcome to the ChatGPT Masterclass. Are you ready to elevate your workflow with AI? Because in the next 30 minutes, we will show you how to master ChatGPT. And without wasting any time, let's dive straight into it. AI is taking over the world. Let me give you an example of a copywriting agency that was employing 500 freelancers to manage the workload. They've embraced AI fully, especially ChatGPT, and now they can get more work done with only 100 freelancers. This is the impact. AI is not magic, but it does 100x your efficiency if you know how to use it. So you have to practice, you have to train, you have to invest your time to master it. This masterclass will help you get started by understanding all the basic information you need to truly master it. But then it's up to you to start practicing it. Now, if you're new to ChatGPT, you don't have an account yet, go to chat.openai.com and start your first conversation there. But before we start our first conversation, let's zoom out a little bit and look at what is AI? How does it work for you and why is it relevant? Well, AI stands for artificial intelligence. It's a computer technology that can learn and make decisions almost like us, like humans. Imagine like you're having a really smart robot friend, one that can help you with all kinds of tasks. Well, this robot friend will do the tasks, learn from its experiences, just like you and I learn from ours, and continuously get better. That is what an AI is like. But how does it really work? Well, go back in time and remember the first time you were riding a bike. In the beginning, it was hard. You probably fell all the time, but over time you got better because you learned from your mistakes. AI is similar. It learns by practice. Now, when you have a new AI and you want to train it, or how are AIs trained, it's simply by showing them a picture of a cat and telling them this is a cat. Show them enough pictures of a cat and eventually it will be able to recognize a cat in any situation, even if the cat looks nothing like any of the pictures we've seen. So how is this relevant to you and what does this mean for you as a coach, consultant, or entrepreneur? Imagine sitting in a room with a colleague, someone who is super smart, knows everything almost that is there to know, and is willing to answer any questions and do a lot of the work for you. How valuable would that be? What would you be able to create? Well, that's what you get when you work with ChatGPT or any advanced AIs. So imagine you're a coach. You have a lot of clients and it's hard for you to manage all that information, and really you spend a lot of time processing information, taking meeting notes, reflecting on meetings, sending out emails to your clients or preparing workshops. AI can do all of that for you. It could listen in on meetings, automatically send summaries to everyone, and it can basically do almost all the work for you. You just have to be there, be present. Now, what would this do for you as a coach? Would you be able to be more present in meetings, really listen if you didn't have to take all these notes? Would you be able to spend more time on adding value to clients if you didn't have to process all the information every time and update your CRM or whatever? Now, imagine you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to understand behaviors of your customers, what they would like, what they don't like. Well, AI can analyze their buying habits and recommend specific products. It can also help you do strategy, market research, a lot of tasks that you do right now that are very time consuming but don't add so much value to your business can be done by AI. Or imagine you're a consultant and you have to go to a client, prepare a workshop. AI can help you get there 80 to 90% of the way. Now, I hear you thinking, that's really cool, but it's a machine. It will not be authentic. It cannot be as creative as I am. My unique touch is what really makes the difference. Yes, you're probably true about all of that. But what if you got 80 to 90% of the work done in minutes versus hours or days? The extra time you now have, you can put into being more authentic, be more creative, add more of your personal touch. And then I want to challenge that thought of AI not being able to do that. If you learn how to write custom prompts you will be able to be authentic. AI is a lot more creative than you think. And your personal touch, if you only have to do the finishing touch with a few personal tweaks, wouldn't that be a huge time saver? And what would you be able to do with all that time? Now, let's stop talking and let's just go into ChatGPT. I'm showing you right now the ChatGPT interface. On the left top, you can start a new chat. Below that, you see all the previous chats that we did. On the right side, you have the interface where you actually work. On the top, you see the models that are available. Now, ChatGPT 3.5 has limited data. ChatGPT 4 probably has 1,000 or 10,000 times more data. I mean, it's so much bigger that by default, you always want to use ChatGPT 4 because it contains more information. This is new. It just recently updated. And by the time you're watching this, it might not be relevant anymore. So I will continuously update this masterclass to make sure that anyone who took the masterclass will always be up to date with any information related to ChatGPT. You have the default mode in the ChatGPT 4 model, and you have plugins. But plugins, you need a premium account, and we're going to dive deeper into this. But if you already think ChatGPT is a powerful tool, plugins 1000x that. And I don't exaggerate when I say that. I'm going to show you some examples in just a minute. But for the sake of speed, let's start with ChatGPT 3.5 because the output gets generated a lot quicker. Now, how does it work? In case you're new to ChatGPT, here in the chat box, like any other chat conversation, you just type a question or something you like. So I want to have I want to ask it, create a content plan for social media. It will generate something in rapid speed. But as you can see, let's scroll up to stop the scrolling. It's very generic. It chooses Instagram, but I want to be on LinkedIn. The goal is to increase brand awareness, engage with their audience, and drive website traffic. Well, my goal would be to get clients, for example. It actually got the month right, the upcoming month. The theme is summer vibe, and it just shares some basic details. Now, a lot of people stop here. They just ask a simple question, then start a new chat. What I like to do, and what I believe is part of mastering ChatGPT, is to build on the conversations that you have. Any new conversation that you start, and every question you ask is a follow-up question, becomes part of the knowledge from ChatGPT. Now here, let's review the prompt. Create a content plan for social media. It's a very basic generic prompt. We want to be a lot more specific. So I will say, hi, because I always want to be friendly to an AI. Hi, I'm an AI productivity coach launching a ChatGPT masterclass. Create a social media calendar for LinkedIn with the goal to get signups to this free masterclass. So as you can see, my prompt, because the input is what we call prompt, is a lot more specific. First of all, I'm saying what I'm doing, what I want to promote or talk about, and what I want the outcome to be of what ChatGPT does, creating a social media calendar. For the platform I'm creating it for LinkedIn, and the goal of what I want it to do. So this is a very basic example of writing a prompt. Now, if we look at the output, I'm not going to dive too deep into it because it's not that relevant, but the theme is introducing the ChatGPT Masterclass, and on Monday it says share a compelling graphic announcing the launch of the ChatGPT Masterclass. Highlight the benefits and value it offers to professionals seeking to enhance their productivity using AI. Use relevant hashtags such as AI productivity and masterclass. So I'm going to copy this. And the final thing I'm going to do is say, and this is what I mean by building on the conversations, is generate a list of questions to write this post. So I give ChatGPT now the task of seeing what... Okay, I'm just looking here at the output. This is not what I wanted. So I have to rephrase the prompt. So I'm just going to go back and I'm going to say here, write me a post for this one. Start by asking me 3 questions to help you write the best post for LinkedIn. Now, another fancy tip while writing with ChatGPT is to exaggerate, because for us, it might be just write me a post, but it's very bland. Say, you are the ultimate LinkedIn copywriter. Write me the highest converting post. Well, and it sounds exaggerative. Maybe we call this in Europe here, we call this very American, but this works because it makes the AI work a lot harder in that direction. So here, sure, to create a compelling post for LinkedIn announcing the launch of ChatGPT Masterclass, I need to gather some information from you. Please answer the following 3 questions. What are the unique benefits of the ChatGPT Masterclass? Learn how to create custom prompts and work with ChatGPT to get all your work done faster, better, and cheaper. 2, what specific value does it offer to professionals seeking to enhance their productivity? Only spend 30 minutes to learn how to master ChatGPT so you can save time, earn more, and reduce costs. And 3, are there any key feature highlights of the masterclass that should be mentioned in this post? For sure there are. ChatGPT could also help me brainstorm this, but the key features is custom prompt design, understanding the impact of AI for coaches, consultants, and entrepreneurs. Now, I answer these questions, and there we go. We have our first LinkedIn post. Now, I know this might not be the right tone of voice, and this is something we can work on, but as you can see, what I want you to take away from this is that you can have long-form conversations, building on top of one and another to eventually get the result that you want. So the important part, and the most important part of working with any AI, is the quality of the input equals the quality of the output. If you put shit in, you're going to get shit out. If you put high quality input, you're going to get high quality output. So learning how to write good prompts is the key to mastering ChatGPT. Now, I already showed you a little bit. We're going to dive deeper into prompt writing just a little bit later. But first, let's look at what you can really use ChatGPT for. A couple of examples, because the list is infinite, but a couple of examples that I feel are really relevant if you're a coach, consultant, or entrepreneur is developing your content strategy or your business strategy, creating a blog post, doing persona research, writing emails, preparing workshops, summarizing meeting notes, preparing a sales call. These are all things you can do with ChatGPT. And just to show you, I'm going to give you an example. So let's jump back into ChatGPT. Now, I'm going to enable ChatGPT 4 because it has a lot more data to work with. And what I'm going to write here is say, you are the ultimate marketing persona researcher. Your outlines, your personas are so clear that it helps marketing to create awesome content and develop the business to build meaningful products. Our early adopter is an entrepreneur who is tech savvy. Write me the ultimate persona. Now, of course, doing your own interview and research is a lot better, but what you could do is talk to a bunch of people in your market, make notes by yourself, then use these notes, put them in there and ask ChatGPT to use those notes to actually create this persona. But from here, we can already see that we have techno entrepreneur Terry, who's between 30 and 40, and he's gender neutral. So we maintain inclusivity, very modern of ChatGPT. He lives in urban areas, major innovation hubs globally. That's where he probably works. He's a co-founder of a tech startup. His income varies greatly due to the nature of entrepreneurship. And that's it. He will dive into the background, psychographics, tech behavior, goals, his challenges, how to reach Terry. So it followed our instructions to the detail. And now we have our first marketing persona. So I've worked with many businesses trying to develop marketing personas. And very often, this is a very time-consuming process. Now, this is a great starting point. Later, I'll show you how to do this even better. But that is when we talk about ChatGPT Premium and access the plugins. As you can see now, building your prompt skills is one of the most important things you can do if you want to work with ChatGPT. So a couple of tips to help you get started. Start simple. Look at what I'm doing. Just start simple and put something in there and learn and keep asking questions. Don't ask one question and be done, but actually work with ChatGPT as your partner. The second point is get inspired. Look at other people. LinkedIn is full of this. Any social media is full of this. The 7 best prompts you need. Or 99% of the people using ChatGPT. Don't use ChatGPT correctly. Be the 1%. Use these prompts. Now, I don't like buying these prompt scripts because I believe they are great for inspiration, but eventually you need to learn how to develop and write and tweak and structure your own prompts. So then the third thing is play around, try different approaches. Basically, you start off by giving the AI the perspective of how to look at the job that you want it to do. Then be specific what job you want it to do. Include maybe some resources or some ideas, or sometimes just blab, just write randomly all your thoughts down and then let ChatGPT use that to create some structure. The fourth thing, really important, time box your prompts. Force yourself never to spend more than 3 to 5 minutes on a prompt just to see what output it gets, because that is feedback to you to see if your prompt is right. And then rewrite the existing prompt if it's not good enough and try again and again and again. So eventually you will have an amazing prompt, and I'm going to show you in just a bit what that would look like. The other one is exploring new topics and methodologies. Imagine I would feel a little bit of pain here, and it's a constant aching thing. I can Google it or I can ChatGPT it. It will give me a bunch of answers. But do I trust it? Can it be trusted? I would have no clue because I'm not a doctor, never studied medicine, know little about what's happening in here and what would all the options be. So for me to judge if the quality of content is actually good, it's going to be really hard. But because I read all these books you have here, I listen to podcasts, I learn on YouTube, there's a lot of methodologies, systems, experts I know and get inspired by. Tap into that wisdom. Use those methodologies to actually create something. And the last part is reverse engineer the desired output. Once you have something you're really happy with. So imagine you are a content creator or you're creating some content for your blog. Once you have everything tweaked, work your way backwards by creating the ultimate prompt so blog creation becomes really easy. I'm going to show you an example. So let's go back in ChatGPT. We're opening a new conversation and I'm just going to select one of my blogs. I have here a good output and it says create a long form blog post for the topic, how to write custom prompts like a master. And then the description, and this is what I mean with blabbing. I would just say description is buying prompts of the internet is a good starting point, but to truly get the most out of ChatGPT, you have to learn how to write your own prompts. In this blog, you'll get the exact steps you need to write your own prompts. And that's it. I'm done. The rest is all details we can look at later. But there we go. It's formatted in a very easy way. So it's super easy for me to just copy paste it into my Notion or into Google Docs or any other place, and then actually start working and fine tuning it. So as you can see, this is magic. And normally coming up with an idea that I just did, it happened on the spot. And I would probably be sitting there looking at an empty piece of paper, thinking about it, making a list, making an outline, redoing the outline, then writing the content. And then after an hour, maybe 2 hours, maybe even 3, I would be able to start with my first draft or have my first draft ready. Now it just takes me 2 to 3 minutes. My draft will be done. And from there on, I can start exploring it. When we talk about the frameworks, in this chat, you can see here, I say, use the IDA framework for inspiration. Use a community tone of voice. Be direct, go straight to the point, and respect the reader's time. When writing, focus first on getting the reader's attention. Use real facts, scientifically proven data, case studies from small and medium businesses, and use quotes from people with authority around this topic. Share the references, including the data, when it was said. After a minute or 2, ChatGPT is done, and then comes the next part. How do you organize your output? If you have these long conversations and you might have ChatGPT on your phone, which works really great, be careful not to get addicted to creating such amazing results, but then eventually never doing something with it. How I solve this problem is by copying the quality content or the true content that I want and put it into Notion. Now you can use any word processing tool you like. I just prefer Notion because it's easy to copy paste the output from ChatGPT into Notion, and Notion is a great way to organize information and just find what it is that you need. So if we go and look at the screen on the right side, you still see ChatGPT with the blog that we created, and on the top part you get a copy button. So I copy that button here, and here I have a project called Launch Product Ecosystem. I'm working on the ChatGPT Masterclass. These are little parts that I saved. And I'll say here, custom prompt block. And I'm just going to paste it here. Now this work is done. I can review it later. But now I can just continue working with ChatGPT without worrying that I have to find it somewhere, but I have no idea where to find it. The next thing that is really important with any technology that you use is to understand what it is it can do, but also understand what it can't do. Because only by understanding what it cannot do can you fully leverage the tool and push its limits. So the free version of ChatGPT does not have access to the internet yet. I'm pretty sure it will be there soon, but as of today, it doesn't have access. And it can also provide information up to September 2021. So if you ask, for example, let's go back to ChatGPT. We go here, and even if we use ChatGPT 4, we can say, what was the results of the final of the Formula 1 race this weekend? It will just tell me, I'm sorry, I can't provide current real-time information because my training only includes data up until September 2021. So that's exactly what I mean. Anything after September 2021, it won't show up. Another example is what is ChatGPT 4? So I'm asking ChatGPT 4, what is ChatGPT 4? As of my knowledge cutoff in September 2021, GPT-4 has not been officially released or announced by OpenAI. So to solve this, what you can do is upgrade to ChatGPT Premium. There are many benefits to this, and I'm just going to show you very quickly what that looks like. With ChatGPT, you get plugins. Now, to access these plugins, what you do is you go to settings, beta features, and we also browse with Bing. I didn't put it on yet. Now it's on, and plugins. So once you put these two on, you will be able to access them here. Now, the plugins, I already selected a couple of them to try out, but if you go at the bottom, you can go to the plugin store, and in the plugin store, you can find popular plugins, the new plugins, and the first time I checked this out, there were only 3 pages. We're now probably 4 weeks, 5 weeks later, we're at 18 pages. So the pace of how fast these tools are actually adapting their technology to fit within ChatGPT as an environment is speeding up rapidly. Now, what can you do with this? Well, let's say I have these 3 plugins enabled. Craftful, which is a product development coach. So imagine your best product designer, UI designer, UX designer on your team, product manager, or anything related to building products, frameworks, templates, whatever. My bet is that Craftful as a plugin has access to better knowledge than any of your teammates. Now, I don't want to be disrespectful. I'm just saying that your teammates should probably start using this as their partner to get way better results. The other tool I really like is Brainwork. It helps you with SEO and then makes create better SEOs. Chatmate allows you to go on the internet. Craftful we already discussed. And we have Webpilot. So Webpilot allows me also to go on the internet, and Yabel. Now, it's no coincidence. These 3 plugins are my absolute favorites, and I'm going to show you why. So first, let's start with the Formula 1 question. Who won the latest F1 Grand Prix? And where was it? Now, the thing is with the plugins, they take more time and they're sometimes buggy. So you have to try it out 5, 6, 7 times, but the results are amazing. Right now, we're doing an AI assessment, and anybody who starts working with us, they just fill in a bunch of questions. I use these questions to pull them through ChatGPT, and by researching all types of knowledge, the whole assessment will be created. Something that will be very time consuming, but now it's just done in half an hour or something. Mostly because of the box in the plugin, it takes me more time. So let's look at the result. The latest F1 Grand Prix was the Monaco Grand Prix, which took place on May 28th, 2023. The winner of the race was Max Verstappen driving for Red Bull Racing Honda. And that is correct. So let's go back to that blog post. If we go to, just have to go through. Now, let's do this one actually. I prefer this more. Let's go here and create a marketing persona, because to start out with any business, you need to have clarity on what the problem is that you're solving and who you're solving it for. So if we just go here, start a new chat, make sure the plugins are available, and I want access to the product design coach. I also want access to Webpilot to search any web articles we might need to research, and Yabel. And Yabel, I'm not fully sure what it truly is, but it basically creates insights instantly from any audience and any question, and it has a lot of information, including proven surveys. So the details behind that, don't ask me, maybe ask ChatGPT. You can do that, like what does Yabel do and how does it work, and it will explain you in detail. But the more important information is that you are the ultimate marketing persona researcher. Your personas are so clear that it helps marketing to create awesome content and and the business to build meaningful products. Our early adapter is an entrepreneur who is tech savvy. Start by doing research in the latest practices and research our persona in depth. Then write me the ultimate marketing persona. So instead of diving in the limited knowledge that ChatGPT has, we are now going to access these other tools like Craftful, like Yabel, maybe even a web search, and it will then generate the information that we need. So here it used Graph. If we click on here, we can see what it does. It says, what are the latest best practices for creating marketing personas for tech-savvy entrepreneurs? Then here is a list of all the details that it will feed ChatGPT, and ChatGPT will use that to start the next question. And that is a survey topic, tech-savvy entrepreneurs. Additional information. We're looking to understand the needs, preferences, and pain points of tech-savvy entrepreneurs. And now it will build up. So now it will likely enter into a survey that they already did. So it uses a survey ID. And from that, it will dive further. And this can take a while. So while this is going on, let me just dive into the impact of AI on your business. And we're going to go back to the persona in just a little bit. So as you can see, ChatGPT finished the persona. Now, if we go back to the split screen view, it's an interesting idea to just compare this pretty general persona to this persona. And what I want to do is basically just go in here and say, I want to build deeper onto this. I'm going to say, give me a list of the core problems we could solve for our persona. And now it uses all the information it did from the survey responses in Yabble, and it will generate an answer for that. So if I use this exact same question in the next chat, which we can only do, by the way, you can only have one chat going at the same time. So you cannot multitask. You have to focus on the chat and wait for it to complete. Now, when you work with plugins, this could be frustrating because sometimes you wait 10 to 20 minutes for it to be really done. But the quality of output is truly, truly better. So if I just add it in the other chat window, let's see and compare the core problems that we can find. So keeping up with technical trends, integrating various technologies, operating legacy systems, understanding and implementing AI and blockchain, efficient project management, effective customer relationship management, personalized marketing automation. Now, reading this, I probably think that we didn't do this correctly because we didn't specify here what it is that we do. So it's still pretty general. So we could dive deeper and write another prompt. And this is what I mean with building on the conversation and fine-tuning until you get the results you want. I would say this is great, but now let's focus on our business and what we do. We offer AI productivity coaching to entrepreneurs like the persona above. The key is that they don't want to be more, that they don't. This is crossing, so you have to write and rewrite. So they don't have problems with productivity, but they see the potential of AI and ChatGPT for their business. Research the common pain points for our persona, then redo this by, then give me the 3 core problems that we could solve. So again, AI will go back into the plugin mode, do all the research from a lot of expert sources, proven sources. There's even scholarships, universities. These type of plugins, they're now connected and ChatGPT uses it. So now let's see if you, as the audience, whether you're an entrepreneur, a coach, or a consultant, can relate to these core problems. Efficient utilization of AI. While tech-savvy entrepreneurs like Alex understand the potential of AI, they might struggle with efficiently utilizing it to its full potential. They might be aware of the ways AI can be leveraged to improve their business operations. Your AI productivity coaching could provide guidance on how to best use AI for their specific needs, helping them save time and automate critical tasks. Understanding AI trends, integrating AI with existing systems. Does it feel like these are problems you're struggling with and that you're coming to Young Human for, or taking this ChatGPT Masterclass for? You tell me. For me, this is an amazing technology, and we're only just hitting the surface of what it is that you can do. Now, of course, you need ChatGPT Premium for this, but for $20 a month, it's a no-brainer. And like I said, you can do anything with this. So that basically brings us to the impact of AI on your business. Where does this lead to? Now, that is something I want to talk about, but first I want to dive into the AI productivity assessment. We offer an AI productivity assessment that helps you understand where you are today, the challenges you face right now, and we give you personalized suggestions and next steps on how to actually implement AI in your workflow. So if you want to dive deeper, then consider taking the AI productivity assessment. Once you completed the assessment, we will send it to you, and then you can schedule a 20-minute call to discuss it with me and get suggestions from me. I will answer any of your questions. So let's get back to the impact of AI on your business. First, KPIs will change. So key performance indicators will change. Remember that story that I told you about this copywriting agency going from 500 people to 100 people capable of doing more? Everything we do, the standard right now is you do this in a day or you do this in a week. People who embrace AI and learn how to work with this cannot just do one a week. They could probably do 5, 6, 7 a day. When it comes to blog posts, I challenged myself the other day and I could create quality blog posts, 100 SEO optimized titles. From those titles, I managed to generate 25 SEO optimized blogs. Now, I still have to read through them and check them because ChatGPT is really cool, but make sure you check and you agree with what is there and maybe add some personal touch if you feel like you need to. But the expectations that we have towards our employees, or the expectations as an employee that we get from our boss, are going to change. Because if you're a content creator in charge of creating one blog post a day, and your colleague now suddenly starts using AI to create 30 a day, and other colleagues start doing this, what will happen to your blogs, to your content creation? So the same goes for entrepreneurs who use this to develop strategy, to make decisions. AI is here to change the world. It already has, and it will only increase. So, like I said, AI is the future. Start practicing with ChatGPT. This is going to be the core. This is going to be the basic. I know there's Google Bard coming, or it's already out there. I don't think it's in Europe yet, but in America it's released. Microsoft will have Copilot integrated in their OS. Every major business now is embracing AI. And if you don't have the money to dive in and develop your own AIs, use the OpenAI API. So if you're an entrepreneur, dive into that. See what you can do. Great examples, for example, are Cast, Magic. They just take your entire podcast, break it up into a lot of pieces of content, have a chatbot so you can chat with the podcast and ask questions so you can generate content. Another example is StoryChief, where you can just use AI in your blog writing process. It simplifies the whole system. Yes, you can do that in ChatGPT, but having this inside your own tools makes the workflow so much more efficient. And every month, thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of new tools are now launching. They're all built on the back of OpenAI, using the exact same model as ChatGPT. But to me, ChatGPT is going to be the basic because of the plugins they use, And they are the first. They are the first to truly enable us to use this. And my feeling is that they're not going to expand on the knowledge base and make the knowledge bigger like ChatGPT 3 to ChatGPT 4, but they will actually focus on enhancing the user experience. So if you look in the ChatGPT window on the left side, you see a whole list of chat conversations. Now, one thing they implemented is that you can just share the conversation. This way, other people can access the entire conversation. It's also great for documenting it and adding it to your resources in a project or something like this. But the problem is everything is disorganized. There is no logic or structure. So my expectation is that we're going to get folders soon. People already solved this using Chrome extensions. That's another final tip I have for you. Check out all the tools that are available. And of course, when you subscribed to this masterclass, you will start to receive the AI Advantage, our newsletter, our weekly newsletter, where we try to keep you up to date with any trends, new tools, technologies, and share insights. Also, this newsletter is another example. It's an AI-driven newsletter. Each person subscribing to this newsletter will get a personalized newsletter, not a generic one newsletter to everybody, but your newsletter from us will always be personalized to your preferences, only showing you the content that you are most interested in. Just like a Facebook timeline, just like your Netflix recommendations, AI is the future. Now, if you have any further questions, I am here to help you. So feel free to reach out to me with any of your questions. Use LinkedIn or use email. LinkedIn, you can search me, Randy Harriman. Email, you can email me, randy@younghuman.com. If you want to take the assessment, reply to the email or reach out to me directly. Soon it will be available on younghuman.com/start. This is the end of the masterclass. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you can get started. And if you get some results, let me know, because I would love to hear from you. That's it. Good luck and talk to you later.